I will absolutely associate myself with those comments. I think there are a lot of members who aren't satisfied. I don't think it is clear that the methodologies and the information are satisfactory. I think you can hear from the comments here in this committee that there's probably a need for this kind of third-party perspective and audit of those methodologies.
Any other members requesting question? Seeing and hearing none, public comment. Any members of the public would like to speak? If you do, come forward, state your name, and you have 2 minutes. Go ahead and have a public comment, someone? No? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, Assemblymember Gray, any closing remarks?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to thank the chairman and the committee for an opportunity to have this discussion and thank the members for their comments. The committee asked that we not hold a vote on this audit today with the commitment that we are going to take the agency up on its offer to provide this information. I'd certainly like to get that information in a timely manner as we're making budget decisions in the near future. So we will work with the ARB to gather that and disperse that to the members of this committee for further review. I may be back in front of you asking for you to approve this audit. Frankly, as I said in my opening statement, the spending plan proposal that includes spending money in the Amazon rainforest doesn't give me great hope that the methodologies and that the priorities are in line with the priorities of this body. I represent a district, an agricultural district in inland California, and frankly, my constituents are regularly first in line to pay and last in line to receive benefits from these programs. As coastal California tends to somehow find all the money, the term disadvantaged communities was brought up earlier in this discussion. And in fact, as soon as some folks discovered that disadvantaged communities meant that we were going to get money in inland California, there's now a bill floating through this legislature to adjust the formula. So, you know, I have some cynicism, some concern about some of these programs, some of these agencies. But most importantly, as we all move our legislation through the committee process, and there's been numerous discussions in numerous committees about making sure that this money is spent in a cost-effective manner, that it's directed at resolving the problem, that those are important questions, and we ought to have them answered before we spend billions of dollars of this money. So again, I appreciate the discussion. I would ask for the chairman's help in making sure that we get the answers we need from the agency. And then again, we may be back before you asking for you to approve this audit in the near future.
Thank you. And I think we had a quick question. Senator.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I just want to make sure that I'm clear. As the agency knows, I'm a believer in metrics, and in particular metrics on this particular set of issues. I am comfortable with the process. I think this may, in fact, to the extent the information provided is not sufficient to answer the question, this may help to clarify the audit that ultimately occurs. I just want to make sure two things. One, Mr. Chair, if you concur that we get a report back from the Assembly member on the results and the information that he's received, and two, that we keep this on track. It's my understanding that we will have at least one, if not more than one, further session of this committee between now and August, the end of August. And so if this information is not sufficient, that it be used to clarify the audit and we take a vote on the audit. Is that your plan?
Yes, that's which way we're heading. I think Assemblymember Jones has a question as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for indulging us. I don't know if I think that I was prepared to vote on the audit today, and my experience with CARB is that they are unresponsive to the legislature. My first term being on Budget Sub 3, we asked several times for several pieces of information on several different kinds of topics that CARB is responsible for, and each time they were purposefully unresponsive, even in their comments in committee telling us they're not going to respond to the legislature's requests and for information. So my preference would be for us to vote on this today and move it forward, but I'm not, you're trying to work this out, and I understand that. We have another JLAC meeting on August 10th. I'm hopeful that you are comfortable with where it's going by then, but if not by August 10th, I would encourage you to come back and let's vote on it then so we can move this forward before the end of this session. My experience is the longer we give CARB to respond, the more unresponsive they become, and I think we need to deal with this before the end of this session so that the concerns that you have are handled and addressed before the beginning of the next session.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I did want to clarify the reference to the spending plan and the tropical deforestation. I wanted to clarify that there's nothing in the administration's budget related to the expenditure of GGRF funds that would spend funds outside of California, so that is part of the regulatory process to look at. So I just wanted to clarify that's a different program.
Thank you. So as we go move this forward, as I spoke with Assemblymember Gray, that this was a presentation only to hear the issues and concerns, and I agree 100%. We need those answers. So with that, I'm urging him to work with CARB to get those answers. I, on my part, will also send a letter urging your input to request to his questions. And with that, I would like to hear back within 30 days that we get a report back, because as you know, we do meet again on August 10th. If we don't have any sufficient information, we look forward to bringing it back on the August 10th. Right. So I urge you to work with him appropriately and get that information the sooner, the better.
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry. Can I ask one more question of the author?
Just one more.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Gray, again, I don't want to interrupt what you're trying to accomplish here, but would it be helpful to you or unhelpful? Would it be helpful for you today to have a motion and have the audit approved today, or would you rather take this time and try to work it out in a different way?
I certainly appreciate that offer, but I have every confidence, and just hearing from the chair right now, that the committee is going to put the weight of the committee behind getting this information, evaluating this information, and I will be back before you on August 10th, I can guarantee, if the information is not satisfactory. And I will also, in response to the Senator's question, make sure that I distribute any response I get to each and every member of this committee for your review as soon as I get it.
Okay, and the reason I ask, I think there's a consensus up here to move this forward, so I just wanted to make sure that we're not. Okay, thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, it looks like we have a quorum with everyone here. Secretary, you can call the roll.
Assemblymember Rodriguez.
Here.
Ashajian. Arambula. Baker. Jones. Nazarian. Wood. Senator Roth. Bell. Canella. Fuller. Galgiani. Lara. Leyva.
Mr. Chair, I'll move consent if it's appropriate at this time.
Yes. And before we go any further, I just wanted to welcome our new member, Assemblymember Rambula. We'd like to say a few words. So with that, we do have one item. Members, with the agreement from both houses, we have established a proposed consent calendar that includes 5 audits. Thank you. And with that consent calendar, items number 2016-121. Just do the numbers right. Number 2016-122, 2016-124, 2016-126, 2016-127 on the consent calendar. We had a motion and a second?
Yes.
Okay. And with that, members, we do have a vote-only item. I'm sorry, do the roll call.
Assemblymember Rodriguez.
Here.
Aye.
Aye.
Rodriguez, aye. Ashajian. Ashajian, aye. Arambula. Arambula, aye. Baker. Baker, aye. Jones. Jones, aye. Nazarian. Nazarian, aye. Wood. Wood, aye. Senator Roth.
Aye.
Senator Roth, aye. Bell. Bell, aye. Canella. Fuller. Galgiani. Galgiani, aye. Lara. Lara, aye. Leyva. Leyva, aye.
Motion passes. 7 ayes and 5 ayes on the Senate. Yes. So approved. So with that also, members, we do have one item that's been held over for today that came forward from last meeting. It was a vote-only item, audit number 2016-117, Alliance College Ready Schools expenditures by Senator Mendoza. This audit was presented at our March 16th hearing. Therefore, we'll only take a vote-only action on this today. It takes a motion and a second to approve the audit number 2016-117, Alliance College Ready Schools requested by Senator Mendoza. Secretary, please call the roll. Oh, we need a motion and a second, I'm sorry. We had a motion, do we have a second? We do. Members, go ahead. And a second.
Assemblymember Rodriguez?
Aye.
Rodriguez, aye. Ashajian? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't hear your vote. No. Ashajian, no. Arambula? Arambula, aye. Baker? Sorry, I can't hear. Did you say no? I'm sorry.
No.
Thank you. Baker, no. Jones? Jones, no. Nazarian? Aye. Nazarian, aye. Wood? Wood, aye. Senator Roth? Aye. Senator Roth, aye. Bell? Aye. Bell, aye. Galgiani? Galgiani not voting. Lara? Aye. Lara, aye. Leyva? Aye. Leyva, aye.
Total what?
It's open.
Okay, with that, motion passes 8 yeses, 3 noes. Okay, next member we have Assemblymember Gonzalez. 2016-128, in-home supportive services, timesheet and payroll systems. Assemblymember Gonzalez, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm here today to request an audit of the systems that affect payroll for in-home supportive service providers. There are nearly 400,000 IHSS workers statewide who provide critical services for approximately 500,000 elderly and disabled Californians. These providers take on hard and important work every single day and mostly live paycheck to paycheck. This is why I've been troubled by reports, and was troubled, in fact, when I was called. This came to my attention when my cousin called me. She's an IHSS provider, and she actually had a technical question about not being able to pay her covered California health care and having to pay the fine instead, and we got in a discussion of why, and she said, because I never get my paycheck on time. If this were a private sector employer, we would consider that wage theft. Unfortunately, the state of California has an obligation to IHSS providers to pay them in a timely manner to make sure that it's consistent, and this just simply isn't happening. So that's why we requested an audit. My hope is that a neutral and accurate evaluation of these systems by the auditor's office will clarify the magnitude of the timesheet system problems and provide guidance for solutions in the near future. With the understanding that the audit improvements will take time, I respectfully urge this committee to take action today by approving this request. With me today, I have an IHS provider here to testify, Claire Kaufman. I'm also joined by Kim Rethledge of UDW, who's available for technical questions.
My name is Claire Kaufman. I'm a member of UDW, and I've been an IHSS home care provider in El Dorado County since 2011. I have 2 clients. One is my 17-year-old daughter, Katie, who lives with autism, and the other is an elderly woman that lives in my community. Last November, I submitted my IHSS timesheet for the first 15 days of the month and waited for my paycheck. I waited days and then weeks, unable to get an answer about the delay. When I finally got a hold of someone, I found out that the current timesheet system was unable to read a 6 on my timesheet. I had to wait and request a duplicate timesheet, resubmit that timesheet, and continue to wait for my check. A 6 caused my pay to be delayed over a month. And since I didn't receive my paycheck on time, it meant I didn't receive my next timesheet on time, starting a cycle of delays and putting my ability to provide for my family at risk. And since I was finally paid just before Christmas and had to catch up on my late utility bills to avoid disconnections. Once I caught up on my bills, there wasn't much left to make a very Merry Christmas for my daughter, Katie, or my youngest daughter, Shauna. If it wasn't for the union giving us a basket of food, we would not have had Christmas dinner. The current IHS timesheet system is cumbersome. It's hurting the providers and our families. You know, moving from a paper to an electronic system could help prevent small errors that result in late paychecks. We need to look at what's working and what's not working. I strongly urge you to support the audit of IHSS timesheet system. Thank you.
Thank you. Assemblymember Gonzalez, any other witnesses? Or not public comment, not yet. Would you like to sit at the table or no?
We do have one more witness.
Yes, go ahead, the witness.
Thank you, Senator.
Okay, go ahead.
Tiffany Wayne with SEIU. I'm going to defer my time to Robert with Local 2015. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Robert Bolts. I have been an IHS provider for my son Amari for almost 5 years. Most parents find joy in taking care of their children taking their children to the beach to enjoy the ocean, playing sports, or cooking together. I find joy in helping my 5-year-old son with daily tasks that are lifesavers to him, such as helping him breathe with his trach, buying distilled water for his ventilator machine, and providing him nourishment through his feeding tube. My son has never known a world where I'm not helping him, and he relies on me every day. For me, however, my whole world changed this day he was born, the day he was born. I used to be a refinery worker, making up to $1,500 a week. But when my son was born, I decided to leave my job and be his care provider because I couldn't trust anyone else to look after him. When he was born, doctors told me he wouldn't make it. He wouldn't make it. Then doctors told me he would be better off in an institution. They said he would never know a life outside his bedroom. My son is resilient and improves doctors wrong every day, and even a kindergarten now. He's a kindergarten now. Where would Amari be today if his father hadn't stood up for him? Probably in a costly institution or worse. Amari looks to me every day to provide him with spring water, his needs to drink, because he's allergic to any other kind of water, to pay his electricity on time, so that the machine that keep him alive, I can't see this, sorry, to keep him alive are functioning, and to keep a roof over his head, so that he has a place he can call home and feel safe in. But every period, those tasks are expensive that my son relies on me for seems beyond my reach, because without failure, my paycheck is always late. And even now, I still ain't got a paycheck for this month. As an IHS provider, the rules are very firm. Submit your timesheet on time. Don't make a mistake. Record your hours. And I obey the rules, and I do what I'm asked. Because just like any other parent, it's my job to have food on the table, the electricity on, and rent paid. Unlike the other parents who can expect their paycheck on a set date, IHS providers like me are stuck waiting for an outdated payroll system to process our checks. My landlord doesn't take IOUs. My electricity bill doesn't wait until I have money to pay it, and Amari needs don't go on hold. I respectfully ask that you figure out why my paycheck is continuously late and that this payroll system is updated so that we can do our job, be paid on time, and worry less. Thank you, Council.
Mr. Chair, I move the audit and at the appropriate time, and also request that this issue be referred to the appropriate policy committee for immediate oversight.
Hey, thank you. There's a motion second. With that, we'll have a presentation by State Auditor Eileen Howe on the audit request.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The first objective that we would accomplish is the roles of the various entities that are involved in this process. It's certainly the Department of Social Services, but the Department of Technology has some responsibility with respect to this particular project, this system, and then the Employment Development Department has a role with respect to timesheets. So that would be our first objective. Then really taking a look at this system to determine whether or not it's meeting what it was intended to do from the original design. And then the rest of the objectives are really looking at process. So looking at the protocols, the payment protocols, and the rationale, whether or not they make sense. What options are available to a provider to ensure that their timesheets get their payment on time in the event they realize there is an error on their timesheet. So what options do they have to correct that so that they get prompt payment? What length of time does it take for providers before they can get a timesheet if there's a lost or stolen paycheck? So how quickly does the system and the agencies respond to a situation like that? Again, the reasonableness of the length of time it's taking. Looking at the system, if there have been any significant updates to the system, have those updates improved or made things worse? So Assemblymember Gonzalez is concerned about that. Looking at how well the system is working for various state agencies, for example, EDD, and needing to provide those timesheets to providers so that they can submit them and get prompt payment for services they provide. Also, are there tools out there that assist providers with any technical problems they may run into? So what kind of guidance is being put out there to assist providers in a situation where they may have a technical problem in filling out their timesheet or in getting their paycheck? For the time period since this most recent system was updated, Ms. Gonzalez is asking us to identify the magnitude of the problems. We talked in the background that there was a situation just a year ago this month where there were 40,000 timesheets that went missing. So we would certainly want to look at situations like that and why did that occur? What are they doing to prevent situations like that from occurring in the future? She's also asked us to look at any complaints that have been filed and what the departments have done with respect to those complaints. How quickly are those complaints being resolved and the system being fixed? Last objective is related to any plans moving forward. Plans with respect to any improvements to the existing system. What's the timeline for those plans? If they don't have plans, why not? What's their rationale for not having plan in place to address some of the problems that have occurred most recently? And then do they have a plan in place to assist providers if there's a situation where there's a breakdown similar to what occurred a year ago that would allow providers to get prompt payment, get their payments on time so they can deal with their personal bills, et cetera, and be able to provide for their loved ones. This audit is budgeted about 2,750 hours. Again, that would take us about 7 months to complete.
Okay, thank you. Is there any representatives from the affected agency who would like to come forward for brief comments?
Good morning, members. Robert Smith, California Department
At the table,
of
you can come forward to the table, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members. Robert Smith, California Department of Social Services, Legislative Office. I don't have any specific comments to the issues being discussed this morning, but I do want to convey certainly that if the audit is approved today, that the department will work cooperatively and closely with the state auditor and her team. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Greg Riggs. I'm the Legislative Director with EDD. Just a point of clarification. We have a very large print and mail facility that we use to process a lot of documents for our programs and our tax collection. We are often asked by other agencies to help with their bulk mailing, printing, and mailing of documents. We have an interagency agreement with the Department of Social Services, and we provide that service on their behalf.
Okay. Questions, members of the committee? Senator Roth?
You know, I'm not generally known as the most progressive member in this building, but I expect you to do more than wait for the audit to be approved to get moving on this thing. I don't know the logistics of lining up a joint legislative oversight hearing rather, on this, but I fully intend to explore that. If we have 40,000 timesheets that are missing, if we have people that are denied paychecks because we, the state, are not moving quickly enough, then we, by gosh, have got to fix that. And we can't wait 7 months to get an audit report to do it. So I'm just one member, but I would suggest that when you two leave, you call somebody and get somebody working on this.
Any other questions? Councilman Baker?
Make that 2 members. I'm pretty sure everybody on this committee feels that it's a total abomination, the system that you have. And if the legislature plays a role in why you have it, which I doubt, there cannot be an excuse. I want to thank the witnesses for coming away from their families to be here and testify to this. Let's get on the policy side. If it helps to have an audit for data points or otherwise, we don't need it. But we ought to get on this. And I look forward to you coming back to this body and showing how you fixed it, especially with timesheets like this. This is wage theft. Mm-hmm. And it's in the news today about private employers who are currently under investigation for what they may be or not doing with their wages and the timeliness and otherwise. But it's a total abomination. Fix it. We will work together to make sure we do that. And I hope it can be this term.
Any other questions, members of the committee? Seeing and hearing none, we'll open up for public comment. Is there members of the public that would like to come forward? State your name, and you have 2 minutes.
Libby Sanchez on behalf of the California Association of Public Authorities for In-Home Supportive Services. We're the local government entities that are the conduit between providers and consumers and are often the very first call that is made when a provider is not receiving their paycheck timely. Those calls happen all too often. We do our due diligence to try to figure out how to get our providers their paychecks timely, but the unfortunate reality is that the providers are low-wage workers who cannot sustain 30 days without receiving their paycheck. There have to be answers, and we have full faith and confidence, if the committee approves this audit request today, that the inimitable state auditor will be able to get to the bottom of this and figure out how these problems can better be addressed so that providers are paid timely and we can go back to doing the job with which we're truly tasked. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning. My name is Greg Barney. I'm a home care provider, member of UDW. Let me move this up here, please. And also live in Merced. I take care of an elderly woman in Merced. And one of the issues that we were talking about with the paychecks, I was one of the unfortunate ones to last year have a paycheck that was, that didn't arrive at all. And when I inquired about it, I went through the proper channels, and I was told that, hey, it was sent to you, and that was it. And I thought that was a kind of condescending way to, to respond. So I kind of let it go. Me being myself, I'm a retired military person. I understand that sometimes there are hiccups that comes with a system. I let it go. But then it happened again. And this time I wasn't going to let it go. I figured that there was something that wasn't right. There was something that's going on that, that wasn't supposed to be. And I was hearing other people that were having many problems, some of them not even receiving checks for for months. So that still, the recent one this year, I still haven't been, reimbursed for that. But I just want to say that I strongly support that there be an audit of this CMIP system. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Buenos días a todos los que estamos aquí presentes, damas y caballeros. Yo vengo de la ciudad de San José, soy del país de Nicaragua, de Managua, Nicaragua. Tengo 22 años de vivir en San José, en la ciudad de San José, y a mi esposa pues le sucedió un accidente en el año 2010, el 16 de septiembre, y está discapacitada. Entonces yo tenía mi trabajo, ella se accidentó y yo tenía mi trabajo y dejé de trabajar para cuidarla a ella porque no la quise meter en una casa de cuidado.
Hello, members. I'm just going to translate briefly. I'm Samantha. His name is Roosevelt. He's originally from Nicaragua. He lives in San Jose. And many years ago, his wife suffered an accident, and so he takes care of her now. He had to leave his job to take care of his disabled wife.
Gracias. Y bueno, el motivo ya es de sobra conocido por todas las personas aquí, las autoridades presentes, gubernamentales. Les doy gracias por escucharnos, por escuchar nuestras voces, nuestros intereses, y les pido pues por favor que encontremos una solución para que las cartas de trabajo y los cheques de pago de trabajo pues nos lleguen a tiempo, y a ver qué solución le podemos dar entre todos. Muchas gracias por todo y les agradezco.
And so I just want to thank every single one of you for hearing us, for hearing our voice, and thank you so much. And so we all collectively need to find a solution to this to make sure that our timesheets are processed on time and that our paychecks are given on time. Thank you so much.